really a matter of honor for me that today the eldest son of Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, Shri Sunil Shastri, is here with us, and I would like to invite him on the stage. Hi. Hi. I would also like to invite आप उनके बेटे की nephew है, but grandson I know that, but इनका and the person who not just the grandson, but he was present when the news came, and he actually helped me emotionally, morally, in all the ways to make this film happen, Shri Sanjay Nath Singh ji. Now I would also like to invite my producer and also my actress, Pallavi Joshi ji. And I would like to invite this amazing discovery. I have worked with some of the best actors, but I never ever worked with such a wonderful, such a, I just can't tell you, a real rock star of an actor. She's one of the best actors we have in the industry, and she has carried the entire film on her shoulder. Shweta Basu Prasad, National Award winner.
Thank you so much, everyone. Please have your seats.
And I'm happy to also announce that the entire Shastri family is here, granddaughters, grandchildren, all everybody. We'll invite them and we'll do a group photo with everybody later.
Sir, it's an honor to have you here. Would you like to share a few incidents or about Shastri ji, about how he was, what was he like?
As far as Shastri was concerned, and I was just 15 years old when he became a parent. And he died within 19 months. That was a short period to exactly say what exactly happened, what didn't happen. But for me, it was like a world which I cannot express in words. It was an experience. I never thought कि बाबूजी इतने सिंपल व्यक्ति, इतने सीधे साधे सरल व्यक्ति, इस देश का प्रधानमंत्री नेतृत्व इतने अच्छी तरह से करेंगे कि आज भी पूरा देश उनको याद करता है और हर व्यक्ति चाहता है और कहता है इस बात को कि अगर कोई सबसे ज्यादा ईमानदार नेता को देखा तो ये इतना बड़ा गर्व की बात हमारे लिए हो जाती है कि हम लोग के अंदर भी लोग ढूंढने लगते हैं कि शास्त्री का कुछ गुण तो दिखे, some qualities of Shastri. So what to do? So once what happened, when I went to Mumbai after his death, I was in the Bank of India as a training officer, as a apprentice officer. So I was, everybody who came to the training college used to inquire from me, what happened to Shastri? How did he die? Why didn't he come back to back alive? So it was very difficult for me to answer. I would only say, I always said, it is a mystery to me. And from the age of 16, 17, I have been maintaining this fact that it was a mystery. It was not an accident. And I still say it was not an accident. There is a mystery, and I'm sure a man like Vivek Murthy and all Pallavi Joshi and my actors and all, they are they will give something very surprising to them, I'm sure. So whatever I saw in the classified, I think it will reveal lot of secrets, lot of things will come forward, come before the people of India. And why I am insisting on this, it should come back, because everywhere, wherever, whichever corner of the country I went, whether it was Kerala, whether it was Jammu Kashmir, anywhere, nowhere if people ask me anything else except how did you die. So you can imagine how much tension, how much even in your mind all the time. I used to think about that. कैसे इसका पता करें, कैसे चले, बहुत सी चीजें पता करने की कोशिश की. We could also find out something from कि हमारे जो personal attendant जो था बाबूजी का रामनाथ, whom we used to treat him as a brother. बाबूजी always used to treat him as a son. And उसको हम लोग भाई के रूप में मानते थे, उसकी वाइफ को हम लोग भाभी बोलते थे. And क्या उसने क्या किया, कैसे वो जब भी हम पूछते थे तो he used to cry, weep like a small boy. नहीं क्या बात है, क्यों होता है? हमें रामनाथ जी बताइए, ऐसा नहीं है, भैया क्या है, पता नहीं, हम नहीं बता. And then that fellow meets with an accident by DTC bus. He loses one leg, and then he is unable to recollect more because that accident was a major accident. So later on, we thought that he will be in a position till after some time. But after some time, what happened? Again, second accident takes place. And the man loses his power of brain, उसका कम हो गया, उसके दिमाग में कुछ असर आ गया उसका एक्शन का, तो उसमें बहुत परेशान हो गया वो. इस तरह से like this, any other, another person was Dr. Arvind Chuk, who was Babuji's personal physician. As the Prime Minister's personal physician, going towards his house, towards Sonipat, and he is crushed by two cars, truck and another car, and he is passed away. He, his wife, and his son. So all this thing creates a lot of doubt, and particularly being his son, I have that doubt, and I still maintain that it should be clarified. And I'm sure now with this film, something really, because this is my gut feeling, as you say, what I saw just now, it will certainly reveal this mystery of my father. And once it comes to know, that Vivek said is very correct. Whether it was an heart attack, whether it was anything else, let the fact come before us. Because we cannot do anything now. Now we cannot bring back Lal Bahadur Shastri. So I was saying that in Bombay when I went, the press people, held me straight away because they were not believing me. They were also asking the same question. So I thought what to do. So, and in between, while taking the press interview, they asked me, sir, if the daughter of the Prime Minister can become the Prime Minister, why not? The son of the Prime Minister can become the Prime Minister. It was something very big, and I was a 17-year-old young man. I was delighted to hear that I can also become the Prime Minister. But press people are saying. So naturally I was looking at them and said, all right, suppose you become the Prime Minister. Shastri ji gave the country a slogan, Jai Jawan Jai Kisan. What about you, Sunil ji? What will you do? I said, I could immediately imagine and I could come to this conclusion that मुझे पता लिया, अखबार वालों ने मुझे पता लिया, पूछ लेंगे कि क्या करेंगे आप. तो मैंने कहा yes, if I become the Prime Minister, the first thing I will do, but I will request you, please, after this, no question. But when I reply this question, then I have no question, please. So they agreed, all right, will not ask you any other. I said, the moment I become the Prime Minister, I will include all my three other brothers, Hari Krishna Shastri, Anish Shastri, and Ashok Shastri in my cabinet. And there was a big silence in the entire conference room. And people were just thinking what to do. They asked me, why? Why? I said, no question. I said that. Ultimately, one old journalist got it. And he said, you respect my age and all that. At least इसका जवाब तो दे, जिसको तो बता दे क्या है. मैंने कहा, I don't possess all the qualities of a father. I only possess 1/4 of my property. The other 3 brothers also, they also possess 1/4. So if we 4 are put together, one more Lal Bahadur will come in. So that is headline, the good news are, they want to know what exactly happened. And I'm very sure now my friend, we can call him a friend, but he must have to me, so he's like a son to me. And if he do something like this, I bless him and I give him all my provision. And to all of you in the press, I welcome you. And I think जो आपके मन में भी एक बड़ी भारी एक प्रश्न होगा इस समय, एक बड़ा भारी प्रश्न चिन्ह होगा कि शास्त्री जी कैसे हमारे बीच से उड़ गए, तो वो उसका कुछ ना कहीं उसका कुछ सामने आएगा. And I'm sure Pallavi ji there, she was a very great admirer of my father. I know, great admirer of my father. And since I have and later I could see only few investigating journalists, but I'm sure the way you look and the way you, I am very confident that your performance will be also wonderful. So with all these feelings, I can only say that हम सबको बधाई देते हैं for this wonderful work and something which the country needs. And we're doing it. I'm very happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. But his contributions towards making India great will always be remembered by one and all. Thank you so much. I would like to ask my question from Mr. Vivek. Do you think that this movie, The Tashkent Files, can change the history written in the books?
I don't know, I'm not a history maker, but one thing I can tell you. First, all the journalists are here, and I see all young journalists are here. So let me just tell you, when you see this film, the first frame of the film says, this film is dedicated to all honest journalists of India. ताली तो बजाइए. अभी जब हमने CPFC का सर्टिफिकेट लिया, तो he told me, this is the first time in the history of India a film is being dedicated to journalists. आप सब जानते हैं कि मेरी लड़ाई चलती रहती है मीडिया के साथ, but my fight is with corrupt journalists. My fight is never with these young boys and girls, young honest people who really work so hard. अगर आप देखिए, अगर नहीं होता ऐसा तो इस देश की डेमोक्रेसी जिंदा नहीं होती. But the only problem is, whenever this subject came up, even the biggest of the journalists kept quiet. They didn't raise questions. Today everybody raises questions if some boy dies somewhere, somebody is lynched, or some judge, lawyer, and this and that. So much of politics we play around things which are not even conspiracy theories, which are not even mysteries. But the Prime Minister of this country, and nobody has raised questions. मैं बड़ा हो गया, मैंने अपनी जिंदगी में कभी नहीं देखा इस तरह का टीवी पे हंगामा हुआ हो, कुछ हुआ हो, लोगों ने सवाल उठाए हो. So I am very happy that the young team of this film has raised questions, and this film will make you think that as a citizen of this great democracy, is it our right to truth or not?
All right. Well, one more question from you, sir. So these days, recently, we have been seeing that a lot of movies on political leaders have been coming up. So is there a change in trend in movie making? Because earlier we used to see more of the romantic movies or maybe the action movies. But these days there is a change in trend. So what would you like to say on that?
अब देखिए, जब लव स्टोरी बनाते हैं तो भी लोग कहते हैं लव स्टोरी क्यों बनाते हैं. जब हम लोग माइंडलेस कॉमेडी बनाते हैं तो माइंडलेस कॉमेडी क्यों बनाते हैं. This is the sign of our country maturing. This is a sure short sign of this country maturing. हो सकता है जो फिल्में बन रही हैं, they are not of the best quality. Maybe some subjects will work, some may not work. But this is a sign that the youth of this country is taking interest in the country. When the youth doesn't take interest, then everybody leaps up to mindless comedies. I mean, कितने आप देखिए पूरे वर्ल्ड में सिर्फ इंडिया में माइंडलेस कॉमेडी बनती है और कहीं नहीं बनती है. ये अज्यूम किया जाता है कि ऑडियंस का माइंड नहीं है, राइट, इतनी तादाद में. लेकिन पहली बार ऐसा हो रहा है, ये सारी बड़ी बड़ी स्टार बेस्ड फिल्म्स दे आर नॉट वर्किंग, एंड ऑल द फिल्म्स व्हिच हैव वर्कड इन लास्ट कपल ऑफ इयर्स आर ऑल कंटेंट बेस्ड फिल्म्स which are connected to the real life of people, small town people, the political figures of this country, the political stories of this country, and I'm very happy that it is happening. It's a great trend, which means that this country is actually maturing along.
Thank you, sir. My next question is for Ms. Pallavi Joshi. Alright, would you like to share your experience on this film with Mr. Vivek?
विवेक ने तो बहुत सारा बता ही दिया है। बात बता देती हूँ कैसी हुई इसकी। जो चीज़ मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा अपील हुई, एक तो है कि शास्त्री जी के बारे में फिल्म बनानी थी, ये तो निश्चित था हमारा। लेकिन जब हमने उसके ऊपर रिसर्च शुरू किया, विवेक RTIs वगैरह फाइल कर रहे थे, हम लोग उनके जीवन के ऊपर बुक्स पढ़ रहे थे, उनकी जीवनी को जान रहे थे। तो जैसे सुनील जी ने अभी कहा, कैन यू इमेजिन आपके पेरेंट्स होंगे, या आप में से बहुत सारे लोग पेरेंट्स होंगे, 16-17-year-old boy loses his father all of a sudden, the most important man in the country, and he doesn't know what has happened to him. And it has been 50 years and he still doesn't know what happened to his father. And when I realized, the impact that this probably must have had on him as a child, I said that the truth has to come out. I mean, it's been a long, long battle for the entire Shastri family. As the citizens of this country, it is our right to know the truth, but more than us, it is their right to know the truth. What happened to their father? What happened to Sanjay ji's grandfather? They have to know it. और कौन सी ऐसी ताकत है दुनिया में जो उन्हें इस बात से वंचित रख रही है कि वो अपने पिता के साथ क्या हुआ, अपने नाना जी के साथ क्या हुआ, वो जान नहीं पा रहे हैं आज तक. It's disgusting. And that's when I said that we have to make this film, and I went and told Vivek, I said हम खुद ये फिल्म प्रोड्यूस करेंगे, ये फिल्म, क्योंकि ये ऑनेस्टली बनाना इस फिल्म को बहुत ज़रूरी है. और I came on board more as a mother, let me tell you, because I realized what, that the mind of that 17-year-old must have gone through at that point of time. And I think कुछ फिल्में ऐसी होती हैं कि जिनकी शायद शुरुआत.
Experience, we all would like to know your journey on this film, The Tashkent Files, and what is your take on this movie?
Hi, good afternoon everyone. My name is Shweta Basu Prasad and I'm essaying the role of Ragini Phule in The Tashkent Files. The fourth estate, or the fourth pillar of democracy, which has a significant influence in politics and society, is media, and I am representing that. Now, like any young journalist or rookie journalist, like any ambitious person, Ragini starts off looking for fake news, scandalous stories, things that can bring her headlines and can be her way up in the ladder. But as you must have gathered from the trailer, that she gets so invested in this one very intriguing subject. Who killed Shastri, the second Prime Minister of independent India, that she almost gets obsessed with it, very fierce. And although I am a graduate in BMM and a journalist myself, I've written columns here and there, but essaying this role, it made me realize it is so difficult. It takes so much effort, it takes so many sacrifices, and so much you put at stake, you risk so much to bring truth forward. And Sir rightly said that it is an ode to media, to the honest journalism out there. And if I may so take the liberty of saying that I also represent a large section of youth who are free-thinking, progressive, and truth seekers. So the film is actually an ode to journalists and truth seekers out there. As an artist, I think it's
Experience, we all would like to know your journey on this film, The Tashkent Files, and what is your take on this movie?
Hi, good afternoon everyone. My name is Shweta Basu Prasad and I'm essaying the role of Ragini Phule in The Tashkent Files. The fourth estate, or the fourth pillar of democracy, which has a significant influence in politics and society, is media, and I am representing that. Now, like any young journalist or rookie journalist, like any ambitious person, Ragini starts off looking for fake news, scandalous stories, things that can bring her headlines and can be her way up in the ladder. but as you must have gathered from the trailer, that she gets so invested in this one very intriguing subject. Who killed Shastri, the second Prime Minister of independent India, that she almost gets obsessed with it, very fierce. And although I am a graduate in BMM and a journalist myself, I've written columns here and there, but essaying this role, it made me realize it is so difficult. It takes so much effort, it takes so many sacrifices, and so much you put at stake, you risk so much to bring truth forward. And Sir rightly said that it is an ode to media, to the honest journalism out there. And if I may so take the liberty of saying that I also represent a large section of youth who are free-thinking, progressive, and truth seekers. So the film is actually an ode to journalists and truth seekers out there. As an artist, I think it's
श्वेता
पल्लवी मैम आपसे सवाल है कि आईपीएल और इलेक्शन के बीच तो बिजनेस पे कुछ असर पड़ते हैं जो
देखिए, ये एक ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है जो मुझे लगता है कभी भी आता तब भी इतने ही आईबॉल्स मिलते हैं उसको। इनफैक्ट हमसे ये पूछा जा रहा है कि आपने ये टाइमिंग जानबूझ के ऐसी बनाई है क्या कि इलेक्शन के वक्त ही आप इसको रिलीज कर रहे हैं। इनफैक्ट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर यू नो काइंड ऑफ गिविंग अस क्रेडिट फॉर ग्रेट टाइमिंग। आपने तो उल्टा सवाल पूछ लिया हमसे। बट एक मेरे ख्याल से एक फिल्म की अपनी एक क्या कहते हैं उसको, एक स्ट्रेंथ होती है। उस स्ट्रेंथ पे जितने लोग उसको देखने आएंगे उतने आएंगे। तो जैसे हम कोई शोज भी जब करते हैं वो आईपीएल के दौरान आते हैं तो उसकी टीआरपी तो कम होती नहीं। जिनको अपने शोज देखने वो अपने शोज देखेंगे। और लॉट ऑफ पीपल लव क्रिकेट बट देन दे आई एम श्योर दे फाइंड टाइम टू कम इन सी दिस फिल्म। So I'm not really particularly bothered about IPL or the elections that this film is concerned.
हाय श्वेता, सारा दिलेर वजह से श्वेता, आपके लिए इस भूमिका को निभाना, आप बात कर रहे हैं शास्त्री जी की, आपके लिए भी काफ़ी चैलेंजिंग रहा होगा। रिसर्च वर्क पर काफ़ी टाइम लगा है, तो आपके लिए कितना ज़्यादा चैलेंजिंग था अपने का किरदार निभाना?
बहुत ही ओवरवेलमिंग एक्सपीरियंस था। और अपनी तरफ से मैं कहना चाहूँगी कि जब मुझे इस सब्जेक्ट के बारे में जो पता चला, जब मैं इनसे मिली और स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ा, और मैंने अपनी तरफ से ऑब्वियसली इट वाज ऑलरेडी वेरी वेल रिसर्च बाय सर एंड हिज टीम, एंड अपनी तरफ से मैं जितना कर सकती थी, खोज सकती थी, मैं कर रही थी रिसर्च अपने लेवल पर। बट इट वॉज अ वेरी वेरी ओवरवेलमिंग एक्सपीरियंस। एंड ऐसे कुछ सीन्स भी हैं फिल्म में जिसकी वजह से आई हैड टू कम्प्लीटली कट ऑफ फ्रॉम द वर्ल्ड। एंड मैं अपने फैमिली फ्रेंड से बात कर रही थी ज़्यादा, ना मैं सोशल मीडिया में जा रही थी, मैं ऐप्स डिलीट कर रही थी, मैं म्यूज़िक नहीं सुन रही थी, मैं किताबें पढ़ रहा हूँ, मैं किताब नहीं पढ़ रही थी। तो और मैंने अपना स्क्रीन सेवर जो है शास्त्री जी के नाम पे लगाया था, उनके कुछ बुक्स पढ़े थे। इनफैक्ट एक ऐसा मोमेंट भी आया था, यूजुअली आई डोंट लाइक क्राइम इन पब्लिक, but I remember this one particular day when I just suddenly broke down, and I don't know what happened. I was so overwhelmed by this particular scene that I started crying. Sir, ma'am, क्या हुआ? मैं चोट लगी, क्या हो गया? I don't know what happened. I just want to let it out. So I think as an actor, I think इतनी बढ़िया opportunity है, और ऐसे बहुत ही कम actors होते हैं। As an artist, I feel so blessed that I got this opportunity. And there's a weird coincidence that Shastri ji passed away on 11 January and I was born on 11 January. So when I came to know about it, it gave me goosebumps. But it was a very, very emotional, overwhelming and special journey, really. And I think I have really went it out and given it all that I have.
हेलो पल्लवी मैम, शुभांगी मैं दिलेर समाचार से। मैम, आपकी एक पहले भी फिल्म आई थी बुद्ध एंड ट्रैफिक जाम, जिसमें आपका रोल बहुत टफ था। इसमें आपके क्या चैलेंजिंग था? जिस तरह से आप दिख रहे हैं, आप व्हील चेयर पे हैं, तो क्या मुश्किल था आपके लिए सब कुछ?
जो आपको दिख रहा है, जो एक्सटीरियर पोर्ट्रेयल है कैरेक्टर का, उसमें कुछ खास कलाकार को प्रॉब्लम नहीं आती है। अगर व्हीलचेयर में बैठी हूँ तो मैं तो सबसे ज़्यादा मज़े उठा रही थी, सब बात कर रहे थे, मैं तो आराम से मारी थी। लेकिन इसमें थोड़ा सा मेरा रोल बहुत सीधा नहीं था, थोड़ा टेढ़ा रोल था इसमें। आज तक आपने मुझे बहुत अच्छे अच्छे कैरेक्टर्स में देखा होगा, और मेरी एक खुद की एक नेचुरल प्रॉब्लम ये है कि मेरा जो एक, हर आदमी का एक नेचुरल डिस्पोजिशन होता है, मेरा वो स्माइल है। मतलब आप मुझे आधी रात को नींद में से भी उठाएंगे तो चांसेस है कि मैं यूँ करके उठूंगी। तो इसमें मुझे बिल्कुल बताया गया था कि जरा भी हंसी चेहरे पे आनी नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि ये कैरेक्टर ही ऐसा है कि वो मतलब अपने आप को इतनी एंटाइटल्ड समझती है, ये जो औरत है, ये मोहतरमा जो है, मतलब सब उनके लिए पैदा हुए हैं उनकी चाकरी करने के लिए। तो हाँ, ऐसे ही बात करती है वो। तो मैं 2-3 बार तो मैंने बहुत अच्छे से किसी को देख के ऐसे स्माइल कर दिया तो रिटेक हुआ था। विवेक मुझ पर बहुत गुस्सा हो रहे थे कि ये क्या कर रही हो तुम, यू आर नॉट सपोज्ड टू स्माइल। तो वो मेरे लिए सबसे डिफिकल्ट अगर मेरे लिए कोई चीज़ होगी, जैसे श्वेता तो अपने काम के बारे में बोली, मुझे मेरी हंसी कंट्रोल करने में इतनी दिक्कत आ गई। पहले 8 से 9 दिनों तक मुझे समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा था कि मैं कैसे हंसी कंट्रोल करूँ। कोई सामने से मुझसे बात कर रहा है तो मैं चेहरा प्लेजेंट कैसे नहीं रखूँ, मैं कैसे ऐसे साफ सा एक्सप्रेशन लेकर बैठूँ। तो ये मतलब